I'm here at the studios of KALW in San Francisco for part 2 of our interview with Raymond Benton. He's been on food stamps for 5 years. He's got a master's in organic chemistry and has been looking for work for 5 years. And he's an on-call desk clerk with the Community Housing Partnership. Raymond, a lot of people who have work don't understand how difficult it is right now to find a job. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, well, he's in San Francisco. There's got to be something. It's the holidays. There's got to be something at a store, at a fast food joint, right? You hear these things a lot. How would you respond to that?
Well, I'm one of those people that are underemployed. So I have, even at Community Housing Partnership, this is an on-call job, So I work when they need me, not when I need work. And I also work as an on-call person for the Tenderloin Technology Lab. Even though I volunteer for them, today I got called, where somebody can't make it, so now I'm going to get work today. But what happens next week? It's not like if you were to look at my email box and the number of resumes that I've sent out, I am one of those people. I'm job ready, I'm intellectual, I'm intelligent, I can speak, I do well in an interview, I have the clothes to dress the part, I have everything that you supposedly need to get a job. But you also got to remember that since 2008, 2007, the economy has taken a huge dive.
Right.
And so even people at McDonald's, which you cannot make a living at, mind you, people at McDonald's, people who are in their 40s are competing for those jobs against people who are 17,
I know,
18 years old.
I just read that the Whole Foods over in Oakland is receiving 100 applications. I don't know if it's a day or a week, but let's just say they're receiving a lot of applications.
Yes.
On a regular basis. Yes. What kind of work are you looking for?
Well, I would like to find something like as a quality assurance person. I wouldn't mind being a lab assistant or a chemical technician. There are numerous transferable skills that I have and jobs that I can do. I'm very talented. I have technological skills for a laboratory that are coming out my ears. I not only have a master's degree, I have a bachelor's degree in biology, I have an associate science degree in life science. I came back to San Francisco, and in 2009, I said, okay, well, you're not getting a job, let's go update yourself. So I went back to San Francisco State and did a certification in clinical trial design and management.
Wow.
So I'm constantly trying to make this work, and it just seems like if I'm having this difficult a problem, I can't imagine with someone who doesn't have the skill set that I have, the kind of problem that they're having and facing.
And you're in the Bay Area.
Where
there are supposed to be so many opportunities.
I'm in biotech.
Exactly.
Heaven.
If someone's watching this and maybe wants to reach out to you, what's the best way to contact you?
You can contact me by my email. You can write to me this is all small letters, Raymond, Raymond, period, Benton, Benton, period, 1, the number 1, at gmail.com.
All right, and I'll put this email under the video. Let's talk a little bit about the stigmas attached to food stamps. 46 million Americans are on food stamps, almost 4 million here in California, a 93% increase since 2006. And as you know, there's so many stigmas attached to this food stamps. How do those stigmas affect you? We just had Newt Gingrich call President Obama, I want to get my quote right, the greatest food stamp president in history, the best food stamp president in history.
I really think it's easy for people who are well-to-do to make these soundbite comments. That a lot of people who are not in that situation or have never been in that situation will buy it on face value. There is a lot of stigma attached to getting welfare, to getting food stamps, to getting general assistance. And the stigma is that you're lazy, you're on drugs, you're an alcoholic, you want to bleed the system, you want to cheat the system, you're conning people, that you're not making an effort, And I frankly can tell you, I have plenty of friends that I know who are low-income people, who are honest, hard-working people who desire nothing more than to not be on welfare. I am humiliated when I go to social services. I have never been more humiliated in my life. You know, I mean, you want to talk about taking a job so I won't go get food stamps. When I came back here, I worked for Clean City, which literally you're scooping poop off the street, human feces off the streets of San Francisco.
You worked for Clean City?
Yes. I will do anything not to be dependent. Not because I look at this as if I'm taking tax dollars, I know I've paid tax dollars out, but at the same time, I'm looking at it as, you know, you're working. There's Americans out there working. Somebody's paying for this. I do not, as a healthy, functioning human being, have the right to take those tax dollars just because they're there. If I need those tax dollars, and for some reason, physiologically or mentally, you know, I need those tax dollars, they should be there, and people should be able to get them, and they should have dignity when they get them. And places like St. Anthony's, Glide, they provide those people with that dignity, you know. But if you go to social services, it's literally like going to a prison slash mental ward. You know, it literally is.
And we were just talking on the show about how it took 10 years for advocates to finally get rid of the fingerprinting requirement.
Yeah, that makes you feel like you're a criminal.
Right.
They're assuming that you're automatically scamming the system.
Well, and this is another talking point and you hear this from Republicans about fraud, and yet Alexis Fernandez, who works on the CalFresh program with California Food Policy Advocates, said we're at the lowest point in history with fraud. They've cracked down so hard that it's so rare these days. Wow. And we're talking again about $4 a day here.
Right. And you know what? I'm really upset that they would focus on poor people and welfare and fraud in that sense. And when I'm looking at people who, with the biggest debacle of this country has ever seen, people are losing their homes, their families, because bankers and investors have stolen us blind, whether it's over, I don't care what the reasons are, Glass-Steagall Act or whatever it was. I do not care. The reason is they are thieves. They stole from us. No one's in jail. No one's paying the consequences. But you're willing to make me, a guy who gets $4 a day, pay the consequences. I am totally flabbergasted at the United States, at our government, at the people who are the powers to be. We are a smart people, and we are taking our country and flushing it down the toilet. And let me tell you what, I'm at the other end of my life. You know what? Your children, they're at the beginning of theirs. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, what do you want? Do you want your children to meet what I'm meeting right now? And believe me, it'll, by 20 years, 30 years from now, it'll be 100 times worse than this. Mm-hmm. So we have options as a country. We can start to think out of the box, get away from the sound bites, listen to what's really going on, take the pulse of the country, and treat the illness that's happening in the country.
What's next for you, Raymond?
What's next for me is I go forward no matter what. I mean, I will go forward no matter what. You know, I will pursue a career. You know, I mean, I've been pursuing a career. I was a late bloomer. I didn't graduate from college until I was 40. You know, and so I was compensating for an incompetent society to begin with. You know, I was functioning at a 5th grade level when I got to community college. Wow. 5th grade level. And I've gotten a master's degree. It took me another 25 years, you know, 24 years post-high school to come up with this master's degree.
Wow.
You know, and I will move forward.
Wow. Amazing story. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
And if you have any opportunities that you know of for Raymond, you can find his email below the video. It's raymond.benton, BENTON.1, the number 1, @gmail.com, and you can find it under this video. Raymond Benton has been on food stamps for 5 years. He's been looking for work for 5 years, and he's an on-call desk clerk with Community Housing Partnership. Thank you, Raymond.